Good afternoon. Welcome to our Predictive World series today, where we're going to discuss why B2B sales professionals can benefit from a sales community. We're fortunate today to have with us Mark Birch, the founder of the Global Enterprise Sales Forum, and he's calling in from New York City today, while I'm currently sitting in Toronto, Canada. We're hearing the voice of Dr. Cindy Gordon, CEO and founder of SalesChoice. We're always delighted to bring our community together, mainly because it provides an opportunity for us to learn, advance our knowledge, and also deliver hopefully high quality insights to all of you to advance our collaborative learning. Today we have an excellent global audience. I just finished going through the roster and I was delighted to see that we've got people not only from India, but Algeria, even Ireland, Canada, US. So we've got a really nice global audience with us today from a diverse number of industries. Looking at the list, we've got people from manufacturing, high tech, professional services, financial services, a few consultants, and even some people that are in the recruiting industry. So again, thanks to all of you for joining us today, and we're both looking forward to taking out, appreciating your time as Mark and I get underway. I'd like to first introduce Mark Birch. Mark's the founder of the Enterprise Sales Forum. Welcome, Mark.
Glad to be here, Cindy. Thank you for having me.
Yep, very, very appreciative, Mark. We're going to just zip right into the content here. I'm going to share with you the agenda first. We're going to run through some background on the Enterprise Sales Forum. We have a structured discussion that Mark and I prepared a number of questions to have a little dialogue. We want to talk about some of the lessons learned that Mark's had while building out his global organization with many volunteers from coast to coast. And then we've got a few closing remarks that we'd like to make. And of course, we always share with you our exciting speaker that we have lined up for our November session. So, Mark, thank you again for joining us today. To set the stage, just like you, just to free flow and share a little bit about your journey with describing who the ES Forum is. What's your journey been like, Mark, in building out such a successful global community brand? Where are you at in your evolution globally? And also share with us some of the experiences that you've had in helping build out your community leadership team. So I know you've prepared a few comments here, so we're just going to turn it over to you.
Really appreciate it. Thanks so much, Cindy. And yeah, I think before we even dive into what the Enterprise Sales Forum is, this B2B sales community and what it really means, for me, it's important to understand why this even existed. And as I launched this in New York City, one of the things I noticed that the startup scene was growing and early stage companies, they didn't have a good place to turn to for really sound sales guidance. It was a lot of low value brute force selling tactics. And I figured instead of me trying to help all of these founders and companies one by one, why don't I just get all of them together and we could figure out what works in sales and what doesn't work in sales. And over time, it just grew organically on what I'd call 4 key principles. One is the focus on the sales rep. The second principle is we want to be able to advance sales innovation. The third is always a focus on delivering great content. And lastly, we don't want this to be a pitch event. We really want this to be focused on education, collaboration, helping sales reps become better, more accomplished sales professionals. And so I think that's what really set the expectations and led to growth, led to getting really great speakers, led to just greater overall impact. And so when I think about the journey of the Enterprise Sales Forum, and we could probably advance the next slide, we started 3 years ago. It was 80 people in the room, and we just wanted to do this New York thing. But over time, people had seen what we were doing in New York. They'd seen the growth of our monthly events. And then in 2016, we decided, let's make a huge push and see if this could work in Boston, in DC, in Toronto, wherever in the world. And over time, we started to grow a volunteer base and create this GM program to establish leadership in each chapter. And this year we've slowed that growth, but we're really looking towards 2018 And we're going to be a little bit ambitious. I'm going to put it out there publicly. We want to get to 100 chapters globally. And I'm not sure whether it's too ambitious, but we definitely want to set a goal of continuing to bring this forum to wherever sales professionals are interested in growing their sales career, growing in their knowledge, and growing in confidence. And so when I think about what that community has evolved into, it's interesting to see that I think a lot of organizations want to take a niche approach. Our approach was, if you're in B2B sales, if you're involved in a complex sale, then we welcome you. Our mantra has always been, let's create an open, diverse, and welcoming community. And so it's incredibly interesting to look at our 20,000 members and see where they're coming from. There's a lot of people are in the tech industry, but we get people from all sorts of industries and all sorts of company sizes. And from the smallest startup all the way to huge giants like the ADPs and Morgan Stanleys and Verizons of the world. We get lots of sales reps and sales leaders from major sports teams attending. So it's a really incredibly diverse group that are coming out to the events. And I think a little bit of that driver is getting people who have great knowledge. So the types of speakers that we've been able to bring on board and to speak to our community has been just a real blessing. Folks like Trish Bertuzzi, who's been doing amazing work in the inside sales world. CEOs like Dev Ittycheria from MongoDB have spoken. A lot of different sales authors, all of their own volition, all without necessarily taking fees, which they would normally do. They've really done this for love of the community. And so that's kind of in a nutshell what we've been doing and how we've approached growing this B2B sales community. Again, as I always tell people, this is for sales reps by sales reps. And really excited to kind of dig into the conversation and I guess kind of tie why this whole thing matters in this day and age.